today to showcase the possibility of getting a job. And the title of my presentation is Why Should I Be Hired? So before we even start to tell you more about it, have you ever thought of getting a job? Or you want just to spend your parents' money? That's better, right? If you consider, having money for it and start, this is even better. Great. And do you have questions or have you ever had questions regarding how to get this job? Do you have any dream jobs so far?
Yeah.
What kind of jobs? Into the business? Brahim?
Data.
Data analyst? Nothing else? Wow. Okay. Marketing manager? Supply chain consultant. Okay. Hey, let's talk to it. But have you ever technology? Have you ever thought about the interview process before getting the job itself? Did you get us to be interviewed before? How many times? How many times did you have rejection? This is better. Too many, right? Okay, thank you. Bye. The remote is not working well. Because yeah, sometimes it can be, it can be dysfunctional. Right? Thank you. So just for the interview, asking you if you get rejected, we all have rejection, so don't worry about it. And sometimes when we have rejection, some people do not even care or they are careless about sending us a follow-up email, telling us about the problem that we got so that we do not have a chance to have this job or to get into the job. Have they ever asked themselves, why didn't I get into that specific job, or I was unable to be involved in that specific, let's say, cohort? There is always a chance to prove people wrong. Let's figure this out as well. So before starting, as usual, we have what we call it hard skills. So hard skills, let's say, emphasizes what exactly? Technical skills, computer skills, let's say tangible, right? Tangible skills that we are all able to require. But in order to get a good job, we all, let's agree on this, that hard skills might get you an interview, but human skills will get you the job. Is there any new words here that I am using that you did not, for example, I don't know, maybe you never had a chance to think of before? Yes, Sarah?
It's the first time that I use once.
Great. So today, actually, it was the assignment who is a bestseller author, who said that there is no such thing as soft skills. And there is actually a reason behind this usage or the fact of no longer using soft skills. When we talk about hard skills versus soft skills, are we creating any clash here? Do you think that, don't you think that when we say hard and soft, we are already initiating an opposing concepts, which is not the case. In general, hard skills should be complementary to soft skills, but in this case, we call them human skills. And when we talk about human skills, what are we talking about exactly? What are we trying to find in job seekers when they want to apply for specific jobs? Yes. Emotion. Tell me, try to be more specific.
Emotional intelligence.
Emotional intelligence. What else? Communication skills. Guys, while I am asking you, I want you to put yourself in the shoes of someone who's seeking real jobs. And you're here today trying to get the appropriate and most convenient job that you are looking for. So when we talk about human skills, what are the skills that we are, let's say, born with, but we need a lot of work to make them valid in our interviews / in our jobs? So for example, when we talk about conflict resolution, is it a hard skill or hard skill? Why is it a human skill? part of the person, interaction, the way of handling pressure as well, the way of communicating under certain conditions. So according to again Simon Sinek, I mean upon watching one of his podcasts, he was talking about being a trainer of one of the organization which is called Navy Sailors, and he's been trying to conduct a survey why people are trying to get specific candidates into each group. And the question was the following: how can you define these people under which, let's say, circumstances you get these people to be labeled as elite? And the response of the head of department in the Navy Sales organization was tracing a graph of X and Y axis, trying to showcase performance versus stress. And here, when we talk about performance, we talk about measurable metrics, so something that we can measure our performance with. So performance can be measured. However, when we talk about stress cannot be measured, or somehow it's a zero measure. So if we think about this, we end up talking about the possibility of I may trust you with my life, but do I trust you with my money and wife? And this is actually a quote in the Simon Sinek. So it's not easy actually to get a job or to give a job to someone that you do not trust. Maybe you can assign this job to someone who has a low performance but high trustworthiness rather than high performance and low trustworthiness. And we will see this in scenarios in 2 seconds. Now, if we move on to certain, let's say, qualities that we see or as job seekers, we try to implement in our behavior, in our in the way we present ourselves, let's say. And the first special author conducted, let's say, or being part of the interview is the questions, right? So when we talk about the questions and when we talk about, future recruiters or future, let's say, employers, what are they seeking in us? Apart from the hard skills and human skills, what do you think that you can make or you can achieve as a candidate? How can you make them, or how can you get them include you and put you into, on board? Yes. Okay, value. What else?
The plus that you are bringing to the table, to the company.
Same. So it's like you bring it to the table, it's not an added value. So let's face it, you will all be, graduation with a specific certificate, right? A license in BA, a license in engineering, a master's in BA, etc. So somehow we are all achieving the same goal, maybe with different GPAs, but again, same goals. So the question is to be asked: how can I make a difference? Once you make a difference, it starts with the human. And again, I get back to the idea of human skills with David Carnegie, who wrote, not really recently, 1998, how to win people and influence people, trends and influence people. The best part of this book is how to influence people. Because after all, when you are conducting this interview or when you are actually being interviewed, what matters most to you is not to recall what you had inserted already or included in your CV, right? Your CV is there. We've read it as recruiters and we have an idea about it. Are you supposed to sit in there and tell me again about your CV? What are we supposed to do then? Examples, that's part and parcel of being an interview, right? Yes.
I think maybe just talk about the added value to your personality and how these experiences that are on your CV and in your CV made you the person you are today and how they influence you.
Great. So you're talking about the added value / the person you are based on that specific experience. So you're not actually talking only about what you have achieved in terms of like on professional level or an academic level. You're talking about how that journey made you a special person or a different person from another one who did not have the chance to be as such, right? So according to Dale Carnegie, we have five, let's say, pillars of making sure that you stand out from the crowd. This is what is the aim of getting hired or getting a job. I mean, usually I give always the example of teachers. We all have teachers, okay? But if you ever, like in glimpse of thought, if you ever think of a specific teacher, you will have that teacher who made a change in you, who tried to help you out throughout your journey, and who made you come today to how to get a job, right? So we have these five pillars, which are the following: communicate with diplomacy and tact, make people like you. Well, not all the time though. Sometimes you don't have to, but you can, handle that. Increase your ability to get things done. Become a more persuasive communicator and be a more effective leader. In most of the cases, we all talk about, I want to be a leader. I want to be a team leader. I like leadership. How can you define leadership? How can you tell this is a good leader? And I'm going to give you an example. So, for example, here, whenever we have a leader, in general, we do not teach leadership. We just become leaders in the progress, let's say, in the ladder, organizational ladder, in a way or another. We progress, and then when we make progress, we get appointed as leaders. Do we really teach people how to be leaders? Do we understand how we can lead people? We teach people how to do organizational stuff. We teach people how we do marketing, how they do BI, how they do management, but we don't really teach traits of a good leader. And that's why we suffocate by the time by having toxic leaders. And this goes back into the performance and trustworthiness. Because sometimes you are a good performer, that you can be a toxic team member because you cannot be trusted. Same applies to so many other human traits or human skills that I just talked about. Now, moving now to few, let's say, testimonials. Once again, the purpose of today's lecture is not to get you a job. It's just to teach you how to get a good job based on that specific interview. And keep in mind, before moving to the recruiters, and I really liked it what these testimonials, endorsed in a way or another, it simply says a lot about SMU students, and these testimonials are based on experiences, let's say, by SMU, MedTech, MSB, and UPM students, either for their internships or, for masters or for UK undergraduate programs, just to tell you that we are lacking human skills rather than hard skills. So just to share with you a few testimonials. This is to UHD project manager. So he said, and I just to keep the privacy of the candidate, I just managed to use a pronoun instead of the name. So I quote, I express my heartfelt appreciation for his hard work, efficiency, speed of learning, and fast integration to UHD environment. Brilliant student that showed sense of curiosity and the dedication to experiential and theoretical learning. While I'm reading these testimonials, guys, I want to just point out or just to mention to me later on what strikes you most along with these different testimonials. Now, another one, Beta I, this is the company. So I quote, she is a very good intern. From the first conversations we had, she showed a lot of interest in learning, very focused, learned fast, asked relevant and appropriate questions, and was very punctual in all appointments and meetings. She won the whole team quickly. While I'm reading once again, I want to just detect, is there any technical appreciation here? Is there anything about, computing, JavaScript, whatever? Just, I want you to, I'm so sorry for the engineers, but yes, we are lacking human skills, and that's gonna make you, twist past this everywhere. Now, moving to another one. Well, I have a couple of them. Sorry, maybe it's too many. So I quote, it's actually about, I made it actually on purpose. I took this one and the previous one, it's about the same person with two different people. So she made the same impression. which is quite impressive actually, because it's two different, let's say, positions. So this position, Gita I, product marketing assistant, Cyan, I quote, creativity and ambition to learn, capacity to take over tasks and ask questions, very reliable, great to work and be around her, a lot of space to grow. Again, we're not actually tackling any hard skills so far. Now, moving to the next. She's a very smart and reliable intern. She has managed to successfully integrate in the professional world and demonstrates key skills required from a business student. Considering her first work experience, she has always shown a keen interest in learning and performing new tasks and adapting to Red Star's work culture and comm department. And this is a communication manager. I mean, having such testimonial from a manager, that's something when it comes, let's say, to your experience within the company. Another one, I think this is the last one. So I quote, I noticed that she has the ability to put herself in someone else's shoes, employees talking about them, understand their feelings, position, and to help solve their problems, which is pretty good actually. Come on, guys. We're asking to have a good job, and we're talking about feelings here. What is the connection? Why do we need feelings and we need appreciation while we're trying to do our jobs? Can you?
That's how to communicate with each other.
Mm-hmm.
That's how to communicate.
Communicate with the team and within the team. What else? Bring joy. Yeah. Like I have a party. No, not really. Grandma.
Have a positive mindset,
Mhm.
keep things going, even if it's they have problems.
Mhm.
Optimism, keep them going.
Okay, we'll see if you can take this joy with the scenarios that I have prepared for you. But before moving to the scenarios, I can take some questions before having to some practice. But before doing that, may I just check if there is someone on Teams having questions, just in case. And this is part of the hybrid session. We need to take care of those who are not attending in person. So do we have any questions? Okay, I hope that they are following as well. So once again, before just to wrap up, I just want to make it simple, as simplified as possible, because if I come up with the jargon that might be kind of like challenging, I don't want to challenge you, but you will be challenging the day of the interview. You will have to put yourselves into, let's say, situations or conditions that you will have to face afterwards. And either we like it or not, it's job, it's not college, it's not just pursuing study, it's professional life. And when we talk about professional life, we talk about too many hindrances. And I don't want it to give you that kind of gloomy, picture of having a job. Sometimes you can have a job and you're always happy with it, but some other time you don't want to do the job, but you have to do it because you have no one else part to swing, right? So in order to check what can you do so far with certain situational interview questions, this is actually what happens a lot, and lately. When you have an interview, they give you specific case studies, they give you specific scenarios, and when we were admitted to RXC, we asked you questions. What if you do this within a team? How do you want it to, let's say, to react, or what would be your reaction if someone else doesn't do the job, etc. So the same applies to jobs as well. When you get interviewed, let's say, put within these specific situational questions or situational interview questions in order to see what you are able to, what are you able to do. And the reason behind this, why do we want to do this here within or why do we have the interview? What do you think, guys? Thank you. Handle that situation. Where under pressure, your reaction, your critical thinking, and actually flexibility, that's for sure. Because it's easy to say, oh, I'm flexible, I can do this, I can work under pressure, I'm the best I'm the cream of the crop, actually, you know? And when it comes to real life situations, you do nothing. Literally, you run away. It's not like run away show, but you literally run away. You're fine. So I will ask you to split yourself into groups or individually or in pairs. It's up to you. And I'm going to give you a few situational interview questions. I have 7 for you. And these 7 good situations, they actually, what they do, the technical problems all the time. That's why I don't really like it. So, good thing that I have, that I tried to do within this is the following. Remember that each and every question, when it is that I presented to you, there is a reason behind that. It's not like arbitrarily I say, what would you do if I wanted to drink from your Coca-Cola, for instance? I'm not just asking this question for the sake of asking it as an interview. I would love to, but there's and you need to be very clever and smart when responding to such situations. The same applies to these situations that I just chose for you that are aiming to tackle, let's say, specific parts or points in your human/hard skills. And here, with the first situation, we're tackling what we call a sharing achieved outcome. I will get back, but let me just explain what are the different usages of these scenarios. The second scenario will be tackling or assessing integrity, ethics, and beliefs. The third scenario will be tackling, there we go, interpersonal and communication skills. Fourth, time management. The fifth one, goals and motivations. The sixth one, adaptability and stress. We deal a lot with stress recently. And the seventh one is teamwork and collaboration. Getting back to the first scenario, let's try to do this together. Probably this is better. Here we go. Can I have someone to read out loud the first scenario? Would you love to? Yes, please. Out loud.
My previous role as people often overwhelmed because of however, we didn't have the budget to hire single help.
Thank you so much. So, you've been given an interview. What would you, answer, or what would be your response to such a question or such situation? Because you have the truth of the situation as if it's a real solution, and you have been interviewed and you have been part of this psychiatric service department. What would you do in this situation? You have a half hour to respond. You have only 2 minutes. So this is what we call it in tipping points by Malcolm Gladwell, the snap judgments, okay? So you need a snap to come up with your ideas and to have a response. As much time as you take means that you are not able to work under pressure, according to the interviewers, because you were you were put under pressure with that specific situation. So what reading this situation, what would you do in such? Yes.
I would try to do my best and answer it with all of them.
No, you actually. So you actually will answer the calls, and it's a holiday season.
I'm at work, right?
Holiday season, you're at work, but you're actually exceeding the work, hours. Yeah, the working hours. So,
It's a task.
split the task with whom?
With the work day.
With your team.
I would suggest to my higher ups to hire more people from this.
Remember that you have a batch problem. Selma?
Even if it's holiday season, I would organize a limited timing for answering calls, like from this to this, and before or after that.
This is a perfect answer. Why is it a perfect answer? Well, yes, why is that a good answer? Not that, that's not that perfect. Hamza, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, they can just get into a collaboration.
Make sure that you raise your voices because we have people attending on Teams, so they cannot really hear your voices. Go ahead.
They go into a collaboration, they discuss the issue, and then they can find, for example, a tool or an app in which they can make the work more efficient and at the same time make meeting and communicate.
Okay, an app or tool means that they need money for that, right? How can they get the money?
Take something like Play Store, it's just something that exists in the internet.
Mhm.
Take the tool in which they collaborate all of each other and make the call.
Okay. But no, why did I say that Salman answer or response? Okay, let's listen to Rami and then we get back to Salman. Yes, please.
Get concrete steps.
Raise your voice.
She gave concrete steps.
Thank you so much. So Salma said something which is tangible and concrete, and at the same time, as a recruiter myself, I don't want you to, to give me all the time. You're a human being at the end of the day, right? And if you keep working during the holidays, it's a busy holiday. You have to work, but at the same time, take into consideration that you have something called social life. You have something.
It's not the employee's fault if the client is unreasonable and calls from at 6 or at midnight.
Great. So we have what we call it smart answers. And at the same time, whenever you are interviewed, keep in mind, you don't always come first, but you come first as well. You need to take that into consideration. You are part and parcel of that interview. And you will be part and parcel of that specific company and firm. And if they do not take care of you, then they do not deserve you to be part of their team, right? Now, moving to a second scenario. What would you do if you made a mistake that no one else noticed? I'm not allowed to use Arabic, but you know, I don't want to go to say. Okay, anyone else? So okay, especially in business and money, okay, and you're making them lose a lot of money. What would you do? Remember that this question where it sets on integrity, ethics, and beliefs. It's not just a question to show you that, oh, you can literally, keep silent and not tell anyone, right? Brahim, go ahead.
Maybe confess truth to find a solution. Instead of them finding out and maybe losing their doubt.
Okay, those who are internal teams, they are answering either you raise your voices or I want them to write your answers. It's going to be repetitiveness. So can you just raise your voice a little bit, please?
Okay, so as I said, we are confess to the team and to quickly try to find a solution.
So you said that you would confess, tell the whole team that you made a mistake, either it's a big mistake or just, a 2-time mistake, but still it's a mistake, and you share it with the team, and then you decide upon what to do as, let's say, as a result or as a solution, right? Please, come to you.
I wish to guess that after one strategy to overcome my mistake, to overcome my mistake.
Shall we call this strategic planning then? So basically, when you confess, you need to come up with solutions yourselves. Probably they do not or they won't fit the team, but as long as you made a mistake, I have a solution. This is my own, let's say, perspective. This is the angle that I'm looking from. And it depends on, let's say, the preferences and the benefit of the whole team. Go ahead, Miss, and then Miss.
I have the same answer.
Okay, perfect. You're doing engineering, right? No, business? Huh? Okay, sir, please.
Try to find a solution for language.
Okay, so without even confessing, you got a solution and you have to find. Okay, so it comes before or after, it depends, but here you will confess. Well, you got really good ethics. I hope that you maintain them with the real life situations. Now, moving to situation number 3. Omar, I did not hear your voice. Prepare yourself. And here it's interpersonal communication skills, especially for someone who's not into communication. it's impossible to get him talk or to get him into, on board. But let's see the scenario. So what do we have? Tell me about a time when you had to explain something to a frustrated coworker or client. How did you do this, and what was their response? I'm gonna get some responses and get back to you, Umayma, whenever you feel comfortable with. I hope we don't reach situation number 7 though. No.
In a personal, from my little professional experience,
Okay.
I see that this situation is like you have it or you don't at the time.
It's either you fail it or you nail it, right?
Yes.
Why?
It's something that
All master students, they use Arabic more than English. I have no idea. That's fine. So based on her, this is what she's saying in case for the team's members, they're not hearing her. So Noor said that in this situation, what we have to do is the following. It's either you are, capable of, let's say, controlling and taking down the environment in one or another, or you cannot really make it and you fail to, let's say, calm down this frustrated coworker. So, is it the right way to respond to the situation? You want to try? One of you? Yes. Go on.
First of all, I will try to define by what he wants to give first. Like the good side of the explanation. Then I will progressively insert that frustration thing.
It's like what we call a sandwich feedback. Whenever we give you, it's not the same. It's too theoretical, and that's why I said it's not possible. And again, that's why we say, why should I be? Why should it be me to be hired and not someone else? It's really with these situations because they are real and they will happen. And sometimes you do not even expect them to happen, but they happen eventually, right? So what we have to do in such situation normally, we should first of all comfort the person. Make sure that no matter what is happening and how it is happening and the result, the outcomes of this situation, it's like the atomic bomb again. Everything is gonna be all right. Simple. You're not going to start to sing, of course, but at least you make them feel comfortable dealing with this dilemma or disaster. And again, it's your way to comfort them, but at the same time, you cannot make, let's say, the scenario, the situation futile, as if it's not, it's not interesting or it's not important. It is. You give it its own, let's say, you give it just the actual amount of time, dedication, and that's it. Do not think it. Do not overput, let's say, your efforts to explain to them. You try, and as Noor mentioned, it's either yes or no. Simple as that. Now moving to scenario number 4. How do you prioritize when you have multiple high priority urgent tasks to perform? Umayma.
I think it's important to differentiate between urgent and important. So there's such a rule that it's a matrix of 4 letters. And I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Urgent, important, urgent, not important.
Yeah. I know, not Umayma.
Okay. And you really depending on like if your superior needs it, if it's something that is integral to the entire work structure, you have to differentiate from what do I need to do now and what do I need to do overall, but not now.
Yeah, so you have a certain, let's say, metric to measure the importance and the urgency of the task. And like that, if you need to prioritize this priority or this high priority or less priority. So we can have, let's say, kind of layers of priorities yes, that's the y-axis and it helps a lot. Yes, Noor, can you deadlines,
dates, and so on.
Okay, no,
Yeah, I have another strategy, and I start by something that I want to do to get into the mood and to reduce stress.
okay, so the priority here
It's not
depends
about
on,
deadlines.
it's not about deadlines, it's about how ready you are to do the task. And this is actually, it can be, regarded as smart because it's gonna be efficient for her. It's not gonna take long time. Maybe she can, finish the task or finalize the task within a time frame that is, let's say, shorter than the one that she will take when she does the work that she doesn't like. I mean, supposedly. Brahim, you want to add anything before moving? Go ahead, please.
Maybe try to rely on the one that has the most that will eventually.
Okay, so you check the venture and you go straight forward to take the risk of that venture. Okay, so that you can minimize the danger. Okay, this is extremely philosophical, but yes, it can work. I can promise that. Now, scenario number 5 is situation. Can you give me an example of how your values impact your work? And this is for goals and motivations purposes. Remember, I'm interviewing you today, so you need to think quickly. Please.
It's about how your vision aligns with the work you're going to be doing inside the company, like how you live your life, how you envision your future, and the work you're going to be doing. So it has to be like where we actually in the last workshop we talked about the ikigai. Hear about it?
Yeah.
More of a harmony.
Good.
Like.
And this vision, does it reply or does it have any kind of intersection between the vision of the company and your vision?
Of course.
It should be. And that's one of the key elements when you get interviewed, guys. You need to understand the vision of that specific firm, that organizational pattern, spirit. And just to make sure, do you know the vision of MSP? Do you, SMU?
Diverse.
Diversity. Yeah, we have care, we have diversity, You see, you're part of SMU, you need to know what. The values and mission, they should be part and parcel. We do have mission, vision, and values. The values are already in the law, in the perception at SMU. Make sure that you read them from time to time. It has a lot there. Now, moving to situation number 6. We're about to finish. So tell me about the time when a project failed to meet expectations. How did you adapt to remedy the situation? And this actually about adaptability and stress. Yeah.
Another question.
Gonna take a lot of work and time. And
regarding the situation, but it's another place.
well, that's not a drama. That's not like a drama king or queen.
Yeah.
We don't have drama king, but it's just to make sure it's amplified. So drama kings and queens should never exist at work. You know what we call it in France, le mal est fait, right? So can't say it in English though. So as long as there is something that's bad happens, it's fine. We need you to find a solution and we need to just rectify it. Yes, sir.
You should rearrange your project, see what went wrong, and find a solution. You should go into action.
There is no time for reverse, guys. You don't have, take your time on your own. Grab a cup of tea, coffee, whatever, at your own. In business, at work, do the work. Finish your work. It's theoretical still, but it's practical as well. You will learn by the time that you have no time to waste. you need to move to actions. First of all, you need to move to find out what didn't go with, what happened or what crippled the process of that project, so that we did not meet the expectations. Then we move forward in order to find a solution. And that's our remedy in a way or another. Noor, I think you have another.
Yes,
Right.
there is
Yeah,
always
please.
a philosophy of Kaizen, continuous improvement.
Mhm.
What happen like other opportunities when you can improve?
Mhm.
It's not like limited project.
There's always room for improvement. Always remember that. I mean, either we like it or not, we can start. I mean, you can start big and then a bigger, or you can start with from scratch and then you learn more. And sometimes you have everything and you still learn. Right now, moving to situation number 7. This is our last situation. What steps do you make to promote a healthy level of compromise between team members? And this is for teamwork and collaboration. And I can tell that even if you're not applying for jobs yet, you had the chance to work within teams. How far did you like projects and teamwork at FMU? Okay, I can tell from your face. And I think you had great team work and nice project so far. Come to you.
I have this experience. It's usually awkward when the professor chooses the teams.
Okay, this is one point. Thank you. Sometimes I have the tendency to choose the teams. Okay, go on.
So I will try my best to understand my teamwork, like my team members' point of view, and to have them understand my point of view, and then do a little list of pros and cons, like quickly to that's the idea, for example.
Okay, so you're trying you give a chance to manage the team and to find out the pros and cons, and to let's say find out if this is the right way to control, not really control, to share ideas or to make a decision, etc. Right? Yes, sir.
You should manage your team and everyone should have a role that he wants.
Can you say it again, please?
You should manage your team and everyone should have a role that he wants.
That you want. What if within the team you want all to be team leaders? What can you do? No, that's not a response. Yes? Yes, Rami?
You need to have a one-on-one space with each member to understand what they're good at. Their weaknesses are, how their schedules are, so that when you go out to the right task, you have a
Great.
good idea of what everyone can do.
Great. One, again, I want to recall why we're here today. It's not to talk only about team, just to tell you that when you work, when you get a job, you need to understand that every and each one of you as team members has his or her strengths and weaknesses. And it's always, legitimate and good to start with my weaknesses, my strengths. This is what I am good at. Of course, you cannot, you're not the British Empire that the sun never sets on, right? So you cannot really do everything and excel in everything. You might have great potentials, great skills, but probably you're better in, in marketing or computing rather than writing reports. You're doing great in writing reports, but not as well as someone else within the team. So there is something that we should all understand. When you work within a team, you're not competing against each other. You're actually completing the circle, and you are complementary, let's say, parts and particles. You're just trying to work, in harmony. This is the purpose of working in a team. And when given such situation, the recruiter is not asking, what would you do as just part of the team? He or she is looking for the teamwork and collaboration. Are you a collaborative team member? Are you someone who's gonna give a chance to others to prove themselves? Are you going to give a hand to help out? Not just to showcase that you are really doing great, you're the best from, let's say, these the team members, and you're doing the best job ever. This is not what the recruiters are looking for. I think someone raised his hand. And yes, Sarah.
Sometimes your team members don't want to acknowledge their weakness.
Okay.
So what can you do?
Sorry, can you repeat it, please?
Sometimes your other team members don't want to acknowledge that you have their weaknesses.
Mm-hmm.
And they get stubborn. So what should you do?
Well, what do you think, guys? Yes.
We focus on them, on their strengths.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to acknowledge their weaknesses. Okay, let's focus on their strengths and give them something that they are good at.
Okay, Brahim, this is good, Brahim.
Try to cover the weakness.
Try to
Cover.
cover their weaknesses. I don't want to really say something about this. I want you to interact. Would you cover their weaknesses as team members? Is this the right way to help them and to encourage them? Yes.
So if they have a weakness and they think it's strength of them, so we should make them prove that it's a strength and prove to them that it's a weakness. So maybe challenge them.
It's all backlash in them, right?
No, it's not.
Now you're, this is what we want. How can you tell
healthy way,
what kind of help way?
like maybe get 3 team members who want the same task and like give them a problem, and the rest is going to be to help the task, the manager, and the other 2 will be helping them, like assisting them in the job, or maybe looking over their job.
Wow.
You can like.
This is the my answer, I can say. Okay, guys. So these situations, they're a bit different. They're a bit, let's say, diversified. But then at the end of the day, what we're looking for through these situations is just to tell you that a recruiter, when he or she is interviewing you, they are looking for the person you are. For the man or for the woman, you will be. Are you going to be a toxic member? Are you going to be a collaborative one? Are you going to have an added value within the company or within the firm? Am I going to have to, let's say, to really to face many hardships and many, let's say, differences to make you understand your path? Remember, getting back to the first slide, hard skills and human skills. For the hard skills, and this actually calls back what I got as testimonials that I did not really include. Part and parcel of the hard skills, sometimes you think that you do well with technical skills, which is not the case. Sometimes you do not know how to use certain algorithms. Sometimes even Excel sheets, and having the tools to have a good presentation or a good website PowerPoint or whatever. This is what they actually mentioned. You need to understand that there is this technicality that you should manage and master, so that they don't have to hassle with it, but rather focus more on your human skills. Okay. Now, before moving on to our second, really short activity, I wanted to share with you you will be using your cell phones. The same applies to those who are who are on Teams. I want you to log into Kahoot.it. You're connected with it. Guys, on Teams, I'm going to stop trying to let it hand or I can see this. So as I mentioned, I want you to log into Kahoot IT, and I will just give you a pin code so that we can start. It's only 5 questions. It's not a big deal. So this is the game pin. second pin is 972978. 972978. Oh, that's you, right? Okay. We need more. Okay. Connections. What about the ones on Teams, guys? Are you on? So it's just a second. It's 97. Okay, let me just write it. 972. 972. 978. Here we go. 972. 978. Are you up? Okay, yeah, that's fine. You can just get past in case you put the manage to hold it. Can we start? Go for it. For you. What's going to be on top 3 and failed my students or attended on 2. Korea Center and myself will be taking care of getting their CVs prepared and polished in a way that whenever they are applying for and myself, I think. But don't worry, I will be so make sure that it's only 5 questions. It's very easy, but I need to. Let me talk the ones on 2. If I'm not mistaken, so you go on Kahoot.it and then sorry, Kahoot is this. It's a title. So Kahoot.it and then it will ask you for a pin code. The pin code that I just shared it with you. It's 972978. We're waiting for you guys. So now we can start. Check that. I'm sending again. I'm sending again here. Shall we start? Okay, just the video for those that's fine. Okay, we're gonna start, guys, and let's have those the winner someone gets sent out with their CV. Wow, this is perfect. And by the way, community programs fail to okay, we're here. I'm starting now. People are still connected. And you get me. Very first. It's fine. It's fine. No, don't. Can you tell me if it's fine? Yes, I'm Kahoot. It is. It's Kahoot.it and you just enter it. Okay, next one. Guys, sorry, we're just waiting for another 45 questions. As I said, it's not a big deal, but I put that I might give you a chance. Shall we start the next? Yeah, perfect. Okay, we're gonna start right now, and here we go. Nachi, remember our values. Do you want me to read quickly? So the first one, adaptability, change management, and cloud computing, continuous learning, time management, decision making, and collaboration. Tell me. Now it's it's the new skills that they are looking for, not bad skills. It's the new skills. Continuous learning, time management, decision making, and collaboration.
How is it's not making the read, but it's not.
Which one?
It's
talking A, that's it. That's not emotional intelligence. It's creative, I mean, it sounds good. We have to find it after the collaboration and decision making. It's about how you put them into, let's say, into like small priorities, second, third, fourth. And what I say, this quiz I just made it this early morning based on fresh research. Very fresh. Okay, look at the next. Look at the yeah. Concentration. No, to get to job. To have the whole package at the job. You need an interview that's human skills because they already have your technical skills. They're you need to get the job. So it's not just the interview, because after the interview you have other things to do. Now moving to the next. Now you get feedback from that. Get out of your comfort zone, get the strength, happiness, knowing own and avoid arrogance and all of the above. It's a trap when we say all of the above. Don't over-analyze, guys. Take them as they are. It's better for you. Now let's see who's on top. Still we're having a unit. Moving before the last. Critical thinking, creativity, entrepreneurship, and ethics are parts of digital literacy, financial literacy, civic and cultural literacy, or organizational literacy. So, oh, there is no thing. Who created the three-skill approach that I just talked about? They started Simon Phillips, Navid Dunn, and Robert Stacks. Oh my God, what we call it's Robert. It's not that they it's not systemic, it did not mention no. So let's see who are the winners, because I need to take a picture of this. We have Rami, congrats. We have okay, so that's the go. Yeah, I'm done with me. Maybe I'll take that. Now getting back to getting back to other. Okay, that was fun though. Okay, so I have another activity, which is quite impressive, I might say, and we can have I'm not going to come to speak at you, and even if you do it, so just to wrap up, it's about what we've tried, what I have tried to make as a point. So always remember, in order to get hired or to let's say have high expectations from that interview, and not walking inside the room, being interviewed, and then walking outside and saying, "Oh my God, I just met this man. I'm not the good fit. Oh my God, I wore the wrong clothes." I don't know when you talk about clothes. That's another session, honestly, with lipstick and nails or whatever, especially for women. And it's not nothing against women and feminine, but still that's part and parcel. And ripped jeans for guys, whatever comes with their hair, etc. And you look great. Don't worry. So we will talk about it maybe another day. But for today, there is something else that interviewers might do to test your confidence. And guess what it is? For example, offer you, not a break, but offer you to read an email and to come up with a follow-up email. Or they offer you a case very short case study and they tell you we want you to come up with a solution. And it happens, and it will happen, because if you will ever get recruited, this is what we're gonna do. You will exchange emails, right? How many of you do write proper emails to their teachers here?
But you think
Using presentation, capitalizing the I. I must say, thank you, guys. Yes, especially now. So here's what I'm just prepared for you. But before sharing this, as for those who are on Zoom, I will be sharing. Actually, the Korea Center will be sharing the box with you, but we're about to finish, and we won't have enough time. It's not homework, it's something that you can take as a homework for you to be guided through. Because again, out of experience, many of you in this classroom might think I have the best profile. I have achieved, good levels in terms of education. At the professional level, I have internships. Come on, guys. I mean, look at me. That's not me. Even when we talk about certificates, that's not it. It's never enough. But it's always enough when it comes to improving your own self as an employee or as an employer. If you are either a CEO or just I don't know, receptionist, you can improve yourself. Okay? And here, actually, this activity will teach us how we can improve ourselves and even the attitude that we have with regards to our employers or employees. So just to start with, I really like this quote from Dale Carnegie by Henry Ford, who says, if there is anyone, okay, I can't read this one. Just a second, I have the book. If there is anyone's secret of success, it lies in the ability to get the other person's point of view, see things from that person's angle, as well as from your own. And this has been said, the following is going to be given to you as something you can, assess and then, send this back. So the first one, you will be given a letter written by the superintendent of a large freight terminal to a student of the sport, Edward Vermeulen. What effect did this letter have on the man to whom it was addressed? So actually, what you will be doing as an activity, I want you to read the actual letter that I will give to you, and then rewrite it in the most convenient, caring way. Professional, of course. You need to maintain a professional tone of voice or tone, but in a very appropriate manner. Okay? Can you do that?
Yes.
Do you think you are able to do it? Okay, I'm going to place the documents here. In case you are interested in having that. Now, before starting, we can have if only one level is going to be too much for you. There's nothing else that is intended to that I want you to ask about. I already have the statistics. If you wish, I can share it with you, or you can check with the Career Center officers. They have already the top 50 job positions that we can look for in order to apply for jobs. Okay, guys, so for solution, we still have 10 minutes for Q&A. Do you have any questions, any feedback, any comments? Do you need any help with anything? The floor is yours. I'm listening to you. And by the way, in an interview, when we finish the interview, there is always a question. Different questions for us. Yes, Ram, please. Let's listen to each other, guys. Just 10 minutes to have a Q&A, session. Go. From my experience, what are the things I should? You should avoid in an interview? Yes. Okay. I'm going to give you a very vivid, fresh, again, experience that happened like lately. I'm not going to mention with who or where, etc. Okay? But as a jury member, I assisted in an interview where the person, and I keep saying the person, there won't be a he or she, okay? To maintain the privacy of the person. So the person, and I think I have already shared this with some of my DSSM students in class. Telling them that, while teaching them public speaking, I was trying to tell them how to behave in an interview, what to say in an interview, etc. Anyway, so this person came in, and I just figured out that I know the person, okay? And ethically speaking, I cannot interview the person as long as I know the person, even if we are not close or I just know the person, okay? In different, let's say, environment or media. So what happened, I was talking to my colleague, one of the person, the jury members, and I was like, it's impossible to do this. And the person responded by, oh, you can sit in here as an observer. That's the first thing that the person said to me as an interviewer. what would you, how would you react in that situation? Someone who is, you know. Hmm? No, that was actually, the attitude was,
The person getting the interview,
yeah.
she's the one who said, or me,
Mhm.
who said.
Yeah, you can sit there as an observer.
Who decided for the whole.
Yeah, for the whole team, or he decided for the whole team, that's it. I can be just an observer, okay? That's one thing that you should avoid, being too arrogant or having an attitude.
No, ask, just ask.
I mean, I was obviously off the panels. The person knows that I am a panelist. That's one. Second, so when you are having an interview, guys, the how, yeah, the interviewers will make their efforts to keep you uncomfortable, to make you feel unbalanced. This is our task. Why? Because this is what's gonna happen all along your journey in a professional field. That's the truth, either we like it or not. So keep in mind that this is what we avoid can. First of all, avoid attitudes, tolerance. No matter who you are interviewed at that point. And this actually, because that another person that I interviewed and who has, and I say has here, who has, a top qualifications to the point what more than overqualified, and this was extremely helpful. Like, for God's sake, you are this person. I mean, wake up. And person was extremely perfect in presenting himself or herself in talent, or and he or she did not even feel uncomfortable with my questions. In general, we ask too many questions because we have to do that. So do not show attitude. Do not show that you are arrogant. There is something called confidence. I am fully, let me say, aware of my competencies, potential, skills, health. Yes, I know that. Don't show up. That's one. Second, while you are responding to the questions, use facial expressions, which are not like you smile a lot. Okay, nice. So one is gonna fall in love with you during an interview. So please make sure that, well, who knows? It means that when you are interviewed by your street, it's gonna be a different story now. So here, what you need to mention with your facial expressions is being professional. Being someone I can rely on. Someone that I can have within my team without struggle or without thinking or overthinking. Third thing, when you are asked questions, respond to the questions not in detail, but rather in a more specific and specified way. That's one point in the third. And the second point, when you ask the questions, try to explain words to your interviewers. They don't need a dictionary to, explain whatever you're saying. It's fine. Maybe someone cannot get the word, but you don't have to act like you are Macmillan Dictionary or what Merriam-Webster, walking by. That's impolite. Remember that one as well. Second, it's nice to show confidence, but it's not nice to show that you are overqualified and you say it. Don't say it. It's on your CV. If I see that you are overqualified, I will tell you that you are. Don't make it, don't just spell it out of your mouth. Don't say it. Don't articulate it, because this is gonna undermine your file or your profile. People, when they recruit you, they already know your worth. Believe me. You will make yourself visible on a viewing scale rather than hard scale. That's the bottom line. Okay, guys? Is there any other questions? Well, thank you for attending today's workshop, lecture, whatever, and I hope that you're gonna get that. Guys, you need to attendance sheet. I know that it's not that's the attendance.
Yeah, we do. Like,
You want to say whatever you want.
any go to the
I'm not gonna run. Thank you for the